got me. I thought there were Pop-Tarts over there. Sat down like, are those Pop-Tarts? Someone ate Pop-Tarts in here. And they just stuck it right back on here on the shelf like an animal. Could throw it away, but instead, not my trash. I'm gonna stick it here.
Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vassell. Welcome to Week in Review, where we take a look at all the videos we put out over the past week and tell you real quick what we think of them. And then if you want to know more, well, they'll go and watch the full review. Links in the description below. Let's get started.
Hey everybody, I'm Z Garcia. Here's what I reviewed last week. So I did a review of Run, 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 second edition, which I gave a 5 out of 10 to. I thought it was a little bit clunky. It's a game that feels at odds with itself. It's a cooperative game that is both a puzzle, but incredibly random and dice-driven. It feels both like it's meant for families, but incredibly punishing. It fights with itself a lot. Has both too few rules and too many little rules. So I was not a fan of this one. I was hoping that the second edition of this one that changed quite a bit from the first one was going to be something a little more streamlined, but it still did not feel that way to me. I reviewed The Lord of the Rings, Fate of the Fellowship, which I gave a 6 out of 10 to. This one also had some issues. The visual clarity, I think, is my biggest problem with the game. The board is incredibly busy and hard to parse. And then the game is this very thinky, head-down puzzle that does not feel like I'm going to be talking a whole lot. It feels like there's going to be a lot of wasted actions because sometimes things just grind to a halt and don't quite work out. If you are a fan of The Lord of the Rings, I think it's one you might enjoy a lot. If you are a fan of Pandemic, I don't know if you'll like this one so much. Coming from that point of view anyway, because the game is very much The Lord of the Rings game first and a Pandemic game distant last, really. I reviewed 3 small expansions. I reviewed Ratland's Cult of Chrome, which I gave a 7 out of 10 to. It gives you more locations, more camps, and it just is a more of the same kind of expansion. It also fixes some of the original camps, and they give you replacement ones. So it's nice, it's small, it's a cute one that I would recommend if you play Radlands a lot. I reviewed Imperial Miners, Aztecs, and Weirdlings. This one also gets a 7. It gives you 2 new factions you can play with. And I enjoy the way they both played all right. I did think the setup was a little annoying, and I wish it would have been maybe a little more streamlined in some ways. But I enjoy it. It's a nice variety sort of expansion. And then Evergreen, Giant Trees, and Mushrooms, which I really like, and I gave an 8.5. I like it even more than the first expansion they had, because both the new modules in here are very clean and very engaging. So I really enjoy it. If you want variety in your Evergreen, this is the way to go. And that's it for me, everybody. I'll see you on the next one.
Hola, bienvenido al resumen semanal es temporada de Cristobal. Folks, this week I took a look at 4 games, 2 expansions. The first of which, The Anarchy, I gave a 6. This one is a sequel to Hadrian's Wall, a mega flip and right type of a game. And while I like it, I have fun when I play it, it's more punishing and it's a little bit more random feeling, especially with its mini games, than Hadrian's Wall. There are definitely some improvements. Mike did a good job about talking about those improvements in the review, and while I agree with them, I find that I'm definitely going to favor Hadrian's Wall personally, but that might not be for everyone, especially seasoned Hadrian's Wall players who want a crunchier game that fights back more, but for me, a 6. Next up, Oddland. This is another 6. This is a tile. You play out cards. It feels like a tile-laying game. It feels like a mix between Carcassonne, but it's more interactive. It's like Cascadia scoring with Carcassonne shared board area, and I think it's good. I think it's good and it's quick, but almost a little bit too much scoring conditions going on for me. But I enjoy it. 6. Next up, Silos from Knizia and from Bitewing Games. I give this one a 7. It's a weird, kind of zany area control game that I find works strangely well at 2 players. And yeah, there can be some real meanness to it, but I really like the way that the silliness and the oddity of the game matches its weird theme of aliens abducting humans and cows. and you prefer cows. Need I say more? Wriggle Roulette, I gave a 7.5. This is a neat push-your-luck game, reaching into a bag of eels, and oh no, you pull out some snakes, and just a little oink game. So it's just little wood pieces. If you like that idea of collectively as a group revealing and be like, snakes, then yeah, you're going to have fun with this Faiduti and Jun Sasaki game. I like it, 7.5. And then lastly, I took a look at the 2 Deep Rock Galactic expansions. The first one, the Space Rig, I gave a 7.5. I think one of the biggest things hurting this is the value feel for the price of it. And price is not often something I bring up in reviews, but this one, it did affect my score. I like it. It good campaign elements, and also that you can use the campaign elements, but in one-shots. Pretty dang good. But it was the Biome expansion. I gave an 8.5, a seal of excellence, because I love playing with 4 new types of terrain, a new mission type, new monsters, just more stuff and more variety. And I think that this one feels better value, so I highly recommend it. And folks, that has been my week.
This week, I took a look at 2 games, I guess, or a game and a storage solution. First up, we'll go start with the game here. This is Run, Run, Run. I came in at a very unfortunate and kind of heartbreaking 5 on this game. It's a reimplementation of a game before, by the same title, Run, 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 that I was very intrigued by. I thought it had a lot of interesting ideas, but just wasn't quite there. So when I heard that 25th Century was picking it up for a reprint and reworking of the rules, I was super excited. But I just found that the game is still clunky and kind of a missed market to it. The rules are not super clear at times. There's awkward communication rules involved. It's a little punishing and super, super lucky. All these things kind of coming together that I think it just misses the audience for what should be a family weight cooperative game. Just did not hit and led to more frustrations with repeated plays. So Run, Run, Run for me was a 5. The other thing I took a look at was the Canvas Big Box. This is a storage solution for Canvas and its 2 expansions. I really enjoyed this. As I was going through it in the process, there's a lot of things that I was not sure about that I found unexpected. But ultimately, I really ended up liking the implementation of. I think they did a great job with the single rulebook for everything. I think the box does a great job keeping all the components safe and organized, and ultimately, it's going to make the game with the expansions more approachable and get to the table quicker. Those are 2 huge wins for me, so I was a fan of the Canvas Big Box. That's it for me, though. Let's keep going.
Hey everybody, I'm Joey Evans, and here are the games I reviewed this week. With Chris, I took a look at Deep Rock Galactic, which started to really, really like that game even more. Anyway, a couple of expansions. Space Rig. I like this. It adds a different whole, I don't know what they call it, another rig segment there. I like what it adds to the game. Makes it a bit more, not complex, but gives you more leveling up and upgrades. I love that. 8.5. And the other one was Biomes. Biomes adds just more stuff. I like stuff. And stuff is great in Deep Rock Galactics. That's a 7.5. I really like both of these. The reason they're probably lower than you expect, if I really, really liked them, is the price point. The price point retails like $100 for an expansion. It's a lot, man. I hate to say that, but you have to take that into account. If you can find these for cheap and you like the base game, I think they're great, but the price is pretty high. But if you can find them for cheaper than that, definitely pick them up. Wriggle Roulette. That's an interesting one by Oink Games, as you kind of reach in to push your luck, pulling little snakes and eels out of a bag. I like this. A great end of the night game. Great party game. 7.5. Tales of Arthurian Nights. I was really excited about this. I love Arabian Nights. This one is more streamlined. It is a better game. It feels more gamery, and I do not like it as much. Why? Because they took out several things that made the other one wacky and fun. This is a better story, more cohesive, I guess, but it feels more like a choose your own adventure. I really prefer the other one, the zaniness, the wackiness, and I don't know, this was a 6 for me. So this is Tales of Arthurian Night. If you like Arabian Nights, watch the review. You might like this if you're looking for more of a game, but for me, it kind of fell below what the original one was. Anyway, so those are the games that I reviewed this week.
Hi, I'm Wendy Ye, and I have 2 games this week that I was in reviews for. The first is The Anarchy. So I gave this one a 6. It is Hadrian's Wall-esque, really heavy roll and write with a lot of stuff going on. I like a lot of what's going on with the roll and write part, but the actual, getting attacked just really drives me nuts. It is very punishing. It is very hard. I've ended a game with 10 points total because I had so many negatives of just like disgruntled people and stuff. So it's a very punishing and hard game. There's also a lot of luck to it. So for something that heavy and that intense, I just have to give it a 6. The next one on my list is Transgalactic. This one I gave a 6.5. It is so close to being at that approval level, but it's just not quite there. It has a very like half-developed feel to it. There's just a lot of little issues, a lot of little things that I just feel like needed some more development, and then I could have really liked this game. But as it is, I just struggle with too many parts to it, and sadly, 6.5 there. So there you go. Those are the 2 games. Go ahead and watch those reviews if you're interested in hearing more. And in the meantime, let's go ahead and see who's next.
Hey there, everybody. It's Mike Delisio, and this week I reviewed 4 games. We're going to start off with a couple of Reiner Knizia designs. First up, we have Silos, which I gave a 6 out of 10 to. Now, this is a game that I think is a good game, but it's not a good game for me because it's a game that primarily relies on area majority, area control, and the level of negative interaction was just too high for my tastes, and that's why I rated it a 6. There might be some people that love this game, but I just felt like there were too many times where I felt like you were doing mean things to other players that really couldn't do anything about it. So 6 out of 10 for Silos for me. And then I reviewed Ape Town, and I also gave that a 6 out of 10. So 2 Knizia games that I couldn't give a recommendation to. This is a game, a tile laying game where you are taking a tile and then placing it onto a board. It's very simple, very, very simple, but it has some convoluted scoring that I feel like is inelegant and kind of grinds the game to a halt. For a game that is so simple, the way that they handled the majority scoring was just, again, just too convoluted for what the rest of the game was. It's a fine game, but not one that I feel comfortable recommending. Up next, I've got Hits and Outs, which I gave a 7.5 to. Hits and Outs is a extremely, remarkably simple 2-player baseball-themed game where basically you're going to be either the pitcher or the batter. If you're the pitcher, you're trying to hide where you're placing a hit marker and the rest are out markers. And as the batter, you're having to guess which one of the bases has the hit, and if you reveal it correctly, you'll move your base runner to that spot. Again, very, very simple, but it's a really fun kind of like get in the head of the other player type of a game. And then finally, I reviewed The Anarchy, and this I also gave a 7.5 to. This is the follow-up to Hadrian's Wall, so it is a very heavy flip and right game, I think is probably the closest marker I can give to this one. And it's got 2 sheets, and much like its predecessor, Hadrian's Wall, there is a lot going on. I think that it is a rock solid design, and it's really going to satisfy people that want a heavier experience in this kind of a design space. I do feel like it runs a little bit longer than it might need to, but overall, one that I definitely recommend, 7.5 for The Anarchy. All right, well, that's going to do it for me this week. Let's keep it moving.
Okay, I took a look this week at Origins. I did another blog as I went back to the Origins 50th anniversary. We did a lot of live shows, from crowd serving to a live play of Realm of Reckoning to our top 10 favorite things to do at conventions. We also reviewed Oddland, a kind of a Carcassonne style game from Allplay, but a small one in a box, 7 out of 10. Silos, a kind of a funky, weird area control style. Not area control style. Yeah, sort of area control style from Knizia. And I also gave that one a 7. There's going to be kind of a theme this week here. Pack the Essentials. I gave about putting cats in suitcases. Also a 7. And then another 7 for Rhymes with Duck, a party game which you have to make rhyming words with, well, things. And then I took a look at Tales of Arthurian Knights. And this one is a 6.5. Unfortunately, it's almost there. It's a game I really want to like. There's a lot of really great things about it, but it just is not as charming as the original Tales of Arabian Nights. Arthurian Nights, though, still pretty cool, though. Just almost kind of misses the mark there. So we have board game news and lots of stuff. We hope to see you this coming week at Dice Tower East. and we'll have more footage from there and many, many more reviews in the future. Thank you all for watching the Dice Tower. We always appreciate it so much. I'm Tom Vassell, and this has been Week in Review on the Dice Tower.
Hey folks, thanks for watching another one of our videos. If you like our videos, if you like our channel, if you would love to game with us at one of our conventions, check out Dice Tower Cruise, Dice Tower East, and Dice Tower West. Fantastic conventions where we play games with wonderful people, a humongous library, and lots of other events and stuff. Also, don't forget to check out our channel, like and subscribe. I'm Tom Vassell.